I don't feel I'm creative. I'm one of those people who has received a lot of luck and lots of chance. Because
why is chance more important than conscious intellect? And conscious intelligence?
I've made images that intellect would never make.
There's a painting called Painting 1946, which somehow summarizes what you became known for. And it was a painting of dead flesh, of meat.
In that particular painting, I tried to paint a bird falling into a field of grass. And then all the kind of marks I'd made on the canvas suddenly suggested this painting, which had absolutely nothing to do with it. And how this painting came about, I can't tell you, but it just happened to come about, and then I suddenly started to paint the meat, and this great image, which is of a kind of dictator, and then the meat around him, it just happened to evolve, and it evolved very, very quickly. And how it happened, I don't know. It is one of the most unconscious paintings I've ever done.
Why the meat? I mean, what attracted you to that?
I used to think how marvellous these extraordinary carcasses are hanging in great butcher shops, hanging from the wall, how amazing their colour was, how beautiful they looked.
You say they're beautiful. A lot of people looking at your paintings think of them as horror images, images of shock, images of blood and dread, and not beautiful at all.
Well, the thing is, what horror, what could I make to compete what goes on every single day? If you read the newspapers, if you look at television, if you know what's going on in the world, what could I do that competes with the horror that's going on? Except that I have tried to make images of it, and I have tried to recreate it and make not the horror, but I've tried to make images of realism.
So when we look at your paintings, we're looking at the real world?
Yes, I believe you are. After all, between birth and death, it's always been the same thing. There's always been this aspect, always, of, not aspect, but it's what it is. It is the violence of life. I always think that they're images of sensation. After all, what is life but sensation? What we feel, what happens.
What happens at the moment?
What happens at the moment.
Do you think there's anything that exists apart from the moment?
No, I believe in nothing. We are born and we die, and that's it. There's nothing else.
So what do you do about it?
I don't do anything about it. I just drift.
No, Francis, you try to paint it.
I try to paint it, yes, but you talk about my own life. But my own life is just a drifting life of going from bar to bar and drinking and that kind of thing. My impulse is my life. My impulse is that I'm an old man, but I'm profoundly optimistic about nothing.
How can you be optimistic about nothing, Francis?
I can be.
Why?
Just existing for a moment. Existing today makes me optimistic.
Optimistic about what?
Nothing. I'm optimistic about nothing. I'm just born with that kind of optimistic nature. I'm just optimistic about nothing.